Hello, dear spa owners, and welcome back to Spa Business Mastery. I am so glad that you're here. So today's topic has to do with your website, and I wanted to share and talk about this topic because we've actually had quite a few clients that we've been working with over the past couple of years that come to us looking for support for their client attraction. Basically, they need more bookings and they need ideal client bookings, and their website isn't kind of working for them and they don't know what to do. And sometimes they come to us looking for SEO, search engine optimization. And what ends up happening is that when we actually have a look at their website, there's actually a bigger issue that needs to be addressed. And so that brings me to this topic: is what's better for increasing your ideal client attraction? Is it SEO? Or is it website strategy? So let's break that down today. All right, so when we're talking about your website, I think what most people don't understand is that it actually needs to do two things. It needs to attract clients, the clients that you want, those ideal clients, to your website. So that means that when somebody is searching on Google for facials in my area or hydrofacials in my area or microneedling in my area, that if you have a really good search engine optimization, that you would pop up in that first page of Google. Now, the other aspect, the other job to get clients into booking with you is actually the website strategy itself. Now, this is where most spa owners just don't know what they don't know, and that's okay. So a lot of you have created your own website on a platform like Squarespace or Wix or WordPress. And what makes it even easier about platforms these days is that there's tons of templates to choose from. So you don't necessarily have to be a website designer to create a pretty looking website. But the design, the template of it is really only one aspect. That's just a visual aspect. And you can kind of mess it up by putting visuals in that you've chosen if they're not really speaking to your ideal client. So this is where website strategy kind of goes awry, is when spa owners are doing their own website creation. Of course, you're bootstrapped. We totally get that. But you don't know what you need to know about website strategy. And the website strategy, so that includes, yes, it includes the layout, the design, it includes your copywriting, but in that copywriting piece, it's not just the words that you put on the page. They have to be very, very intentional. And what we mean by that is that you need to be super, super clear on your features and benefits of your business and your services beyond the superficial rejuvenation, revitalization, clearing acne. Like those are all, those are all descriptions and adjectives that, we can add, but they're kind of general and they're used by everyone. So what makes it so special about your website? Now, what we want you to know is that when it comes to website strategy, and the copywriting aspect, it needs some zhuzhing in terms of of how you're writing. So if you struggle with writing, of course, this is going to be frustrating for you. But if you're good with words and you like writing, then you might find this a lot of fun. So when we're talking about features and benefits, we're really digging into what makes you unique about your business. It digs into who you serve exactly. And you can't serve everyone. Just a heads up, if you think that we can do facials for everyone, you're on the wrong track, and we need to have a conversation because you cannot be all things to everyone. It just dilutes your message. I think most of you know that. All right, so what else can I share about here? Now, okay, we've got the copywriting. When it comes to strategy, we have images. The kinds of images that you choose make a huge difference. Now, I know I've seen a lot of spa websites, and I know that many of you start off using stock photography, which is totally fine. We do highly, highly recommend that when you can, that you book a pro photography shoot, and not just headshots, And not just shots of your facility, but people in it, so that it's humanized. It has, an ideal client can get to your website and they look at that image of reception, and rather than having a reception area with no people in it, which is nice, we can see how pretty it is, but when you put the receptionist and a client, a mock client who's pretending that day, when you put those two people in there interacting with each other, it gives a whole different kind of energy. People can visualize themselves interacting with your receptionist. So images absolutely are critical, and images work so well because the brain processes so much faster about what that image is, and does it relate to them, and do they like it, does it make them feel good. Your brain works faster with an image than it does reading copy. So we got copywriting, then we have images. Now, in terms of images, I would not rely too heavily on stock photography. It kind of makes the site a little bit bland. The other piece of stock photography that I'm not a fan of is those really super polished, highly photoshopped images. They're not real. And if you are wanting to speak to your ideal client who is in their 40s, 50s, 60s, which is kind of where most, especially skin therapy businesses in the spas, that's kind of your sweet spot for ideal clients. If you're showing all images with perfectly polished magazine looking images, it's really hard to relate to, because then I start feeling like, I don't look like that at all. And is everybody going to be there looking like that? And that kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. I want to go somewhere where I feel like the people are more like me. So if you are looking for stock photography, I would definitely recommend that you're looking for more lifestyle images, because it's a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more real looking. But again, images make a huge, huge, huge difference. Okay, what else can I tell you? The others, I wanted to kind of go back to talking about copywriting. Even if you are good at words and good at writing copy, it doesn't mean that you want to write a lot of it for your website. In the marketing arena for websites and social media, we actually call, if it's just a big, lots of text in there, we actually call it a wall of text. And it's not desirable for a website because people don't read, they skim. And so if you've got on your homepage, this big long thing that they scroll through of text, I'm going to suggest that you pare that right down and put an image with it rather than having a wall of text. All right, so in terms of website strategy, it's the layout and design. It's not having too much copy. We don't want a wall of text. It's the call to actions, those buttons that you have, those book now buttons, those buy now buttons, those shop now buttons. If they're not strategically placed, and in terms of SEO, you can actually SEO your buttons as well. So, you need to have call to actions, buy now, book now, but they need to be strategically placed. You don't want too many of them. So, that's in terms of layout. Then we have images, so that ideal clients can quickly identify themselves as being relevant for your business. And then we have the copywriting. Are you going to be copyright? What kind of writing style? Is it casual and conversational? Is it more formal? Is it witty, cheeky, fun? So again, that depends on what, kind of what the vibe of your business is. It depends on the values of your business. It depends on, kind of the whole feel of your business is about in terms of how you want to write your copy. All right, so we've talked about SEO, search engine optimization. We've talked about website strategy. Those are the two pieces that need to go together for a really great website, a really strong website to become literally like a booking assistant for you. That's what you want it to do. We do not want a website that is literally an online menu. We want it to work for you because you're busy enough as it is. So what do? Do you prioritize website strategy first, or do you prioritize SEO first? Now, website strategy is definitely a big job. It takes time, it takes focus, it might take some coaching because you might kind of not know how to get started with this. But at the end of the day, you want to prioritize your website strategy first before you invest in your SEO. SEO is absolutely critical, but SEO brings people to your website from a search, but the website strategy converts that consumer to booking an appointment. So that is why you need both, but you need to prioritize your website strategy first, because you might have your ideal client copy and images not quite right. And so why would you want to optimize a website or a web page that doesn't quite have the correct information on it? You'd be kind of shooting yourself in the foot and, quite frankly, wasting your time and money. And if you've invested in having somebody do your SEO for you, you're wasting your money. And spa owner, I do not want you to waste your money. You work hard enough for it as it is. Excuse me. All right. So, yep, it's a big job. Your website, you might be looking at your website going, oh boy, where do I start with first? So I hope that this podcast has helped you with that. I've given you some breakdowns in terms of what you need to look for in terms of website strategy. But if you do not want to do this on your own, or you want some coaching, in the service that we do here is called a website rehab. And we've done quite a few of them over the past couple of years, and they have definitely kicked up our clients, not only their attraction to their website, but their conversion from website to booking an appointment, because that's exactly what you want. So if you're interested in getting a quote on your website rehab, we're happy to do that for you. I've got a team of really great copywriters. I've got partners that for different websites. So if you don't know how to manage your website on the back end, we can definitely do all the website strategy for you. And then we have an SEO expert on our team who would SEO optimize your website. So it's kind of a full meal deal in terms of kickstarting your website to be the booking assistant that you expect it to be. Well, that's it for today's Spa Business Mastery podcast. Dear spa owners, thank you for joining me. And if you love listening to Spa Business Mastery, then give us a follow from wherever you're following from. We'll see you next time.